So in this video, we're going to go through another couple of examples of dealing with algebraic fractions. So here we have 16x to the 5 to the power of a half times 8x to the 21 to the power of a third over 125x to the 9 to the power of a third. So simplify each bracket in turn, and don't be afraid to use a calculator at any point. Okay? So 16 to the power of a half is the square root of 16, which is 4. Then we have x to the power of 5 to the power of a half. So 5 times a half is 5 halves. So x to the 5 halves. Then we're multiplying that by 8 to the power of a third. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Then x to the 21 to the power of a third. So 21 divided by 3, 21 times a third, is 7. So x to the 7. Over. In the denominator, we have 125 to the power of a third. So the cube root of 125 is 5. Then x to the 9 to the power of a third. 9 times a third, or 9 divided by 3, is 3. So x cubed. So we have 4 times 2, so 8. Then we've got x to the 5 halves times x to the 7. So we want to add 5 halves and 7 together, and that's 19 halves. So x to the 19 halves over 5x cubed. Now the 8/5 we can't simplify that, so just leave that alone. Then x to the 19 halves divided by x cubed. So 19 halves take away 3 is 13 halves. So x to the 13 halves. And that's my answer. Number 2, we have 16x to the 5 all to the power of a quarter times by 9x to the 7 all to the power of a half divided by 1000x to the 10 all to the power of a third. So, first of all, 16 to the power of a quarter, the fourth root of 16 is 2. Then x to the power of 5 to the power of a quarter is x to the power of 5 quarters. So 5 times 1 quarter. Then we have 9 to the power of a half, so the square root of 9 is 3. X to the power of 7 to the power of a half, 7 times 1 half, 7 halves. Then in the denominator we have 1000 to the power of a third, so the cube root of 1000 is 10. X to the 10 to the power of a third, 10 lots of 1/3 is 10 thirds, so x to the 10 thirds. So simplify the numerator first. 2 times 3 is 6. Then we have 5 quarters plus 7 halves, which is 19 quarters. And then we've got 10x to the 10 thirds in the denominator. 6 over 10, divide top and bottom by 2, is 3/5. Then we've got x to the 19 quarters divided by x to the 10 thirds. So 19 quarters take away 10 thirds is 17 twelfths. So x to the 17 twelfths, and that's my final answer.